Arnab Goswami on the debate at 9. Presented by Amity University. Powered by RP Sanjeev Goenka Group and Century Ply.
Good evening and welcome. As you all know, there is an all-out battle over wearing the hijab in Karnataka. As if there is no other issue. This is ridiculous. Because even the most naive know that this is an attempt on all sides of the political divide to create a Hindu-Muslim divide before the upcoming Karnataka election. So I will bust this ridiculous fight over the hijab with some really straight questions on the debate tonight, because if my show and my debate does not expose the truth, then this debate itself is pointless. So please, my request to you tonight, gather your family members, your friends, and tell them to watch my two debates, especially the first. Let me give you a sampler of some of my questions tonight. First, do those who quote Ambedkar on everything under the sun accept that Ambedkar also said that, and I quote, burqas as a consequence are a consequence of the parda system forcing a segregation of Muslim women, unquote, which he strongly opposed. Two, if the school uniform is less important, or if there's a uniform in college is less important than the hijab, then what about the police uniform and the army uniform or any other uniform? Third, why has this become such a big issue now? Why was it forgotten till just before the elections? Fourth, is there an underground movement provoking the hijab row all of a sudden, my dear viewers? We have other things to fight over. Let's fight over roads and dams and mobility and infrastructure. Let's fight over which politician let us down and lied to us, which corrupt policeman tried to misuse his position. Let's fight. I say let's fight over the rights of bank depositors and the crimes of people like Vaze and Parambir. Let's fight, ladies and gentlemen. Let's fight. Let's fight for justice for the sadhus lynched in Palghar, and against those who refuse to act against the terrorist cells even after 26/11. Let's fight, ladies and gentlemen. But the last thing we need to fight over is hijabs versus saffron shawls. It's ridiculous. So let's end this debate once and for all on this debate tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, I come to you with two big debates. First, the hijab round. I know the matter is before the court, but I think the matter should also be before the people. We need to decide on things like this. Debate number two tonight. The Prime Minister has launched a very straightforward question today. There are some people who are trying to use the argument of federalism to undermine the country, nation above all. Fantastic, fantastic speech in the Rajya Sabha. Debating that at 10, and here are the headlines this Tuesday evening on the debate tonight. Dangerous escalation in the hijab controversy in Karnataka. Violence breaks out between student groups. Those arguing for hijabs on campus claim religious apartheid in court. State government has hit back. As schools and colleges remain closed for the next 3 days, is there a political hand behind it? Of course there is.
यहां पर यह कहा गया कि कांग्रेस न होती तो क्या होता। इंडिया इज इंदिरा, इंदिरा इज इंडिया, यही सोच का परिणाम है।
Second day and a second big attack. The Prime Minister gives the Congress lessons in history.
मैं गुजरात में था, मुझ पर क्या क्या जुल्म हुए हैं दिल्ली सरकार के द्वारा, इतिहास गवाह है। क्या कुछ नहीं हुआ मेरे साथ।
Complete takedown of federalism charge. He reminds the Congress of how they treated him and many other leaders from various states when they were in power.
मैं देख रहा हूं कि कांग्रेस एक प्रकार से अर्बन नक्सल के चुंगल में फंस गई है। उनकी पूरी सोचने के तरीकों को अर्बन नक्सलों ने कब्जा कर लिया है।
And yesterday he said the Congress was the leader of the Tukre gang, and today he says they've got the urban Naxal mentality. And ladies and gentlemen, the scenes witnessed in Karnataka today are extremely disturbing. And the thought of a possible political hand in the hijab controversy, the hashtag Hijab Row, makes the situation even more dangerous. Why are students being used as political pawns? Who allowed the situation to get out of hand in Karnataka, and what is their conspiracy? Let's debate.
At 9 a.m. this morning, the situation outside the Udupi College turned tense. Two groups came face to face over the hijab versus saffron shawl controversy.
They are clueless what is going to happen for their future, what is going to happen with their education, because few of them had examination and few of them had their internals, but still there is no clear communication with them. They have all been asked to leave. There were students who were sitting inside the classes with saffron shawls shouting anti-slogans against.
As the day passed, more and more videos emerged from different parts of Karnataka. In Mandya, a burqa-clad student was heckled. In Shivamogga, stones were pelted by protesting students. In Bagalkot, the situation turned volatile. Davangere too witnessed lathi charge on students. And in Shivamogga, tensions flared when a group of students raised the saffron flag. But how did an educational institution turn into a communal cauldron?
कुछ भी रूल्स नहीं था, अब अचानक से नए नए रूल्स बनाते जा रहे हैं।
आप हिजाब के साथ क्लास अटेंड कर रहे थे?
हाँ।
क्या बोल रहे थे उस टाइम पे अलाउ किया?
कुछ भी नहीं कहा था, अब अचानक से इनके नए नए रूल्स आने लगे हैं।
And the government is suspecting the role of radical groups like PFI behind the situation.
ನಾನು ಒಂದು ವರದಿಯನ್ನು ಓದಿರೋ ಪ್ರಕಾರ CPI SDP ಏನ ಒಂದು ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ನು ಒಂದು ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಚೋದನೆ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು ನನ್ನ ಕಿವಿ ಮೇಲೆ ಬೀಳ್ತಿದೆ. ಅದು ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟಿಗೇಷನ್ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ
essentially if it is the part of essential, like wearing hijab, that is an essential religious practice in Islam.
Amid the rising tension, all eyes are now on the High Court order.
Judge said he will dwell only on the points of law and not go on emotions, which is a very practical thing that the Honourable Judge in the court has said. Senior advocate who has appeared for the petitioners, Devdutt Kamath, has spoken about various judgments and whether this is an essential facet of the religion.
So is the hijab controversy being used to polarize students? Is there an attempt to stoke communal passions just a year before Karnataka goes to polls?
And I'm opening the debate tonight between MS Sajid, who's president of the Campus Front of India, is live from Kerala, and Gaurav Bhatia of the BJP. I'm welcoming Amina Sherwani, Rahul Ishwar, Apsara Reddy on one side, with Saida Falak of the All India Majlis-e-Ittihad Muslimin. And Shatabish Shivana, who's the petitioner's lawyer, Mrinalini Deshmukh, Mumbai-based lawyer, and Mohammad Tausif Rahman on one side. Mr. Sajid, you know, your group, the Campus Front of India, says that Ambedkar should be the last word. On every occasion, you quote Ambedkar. When anyone questions you on anything, you quote Ambedkar. So allow me, Mr. Sajid, to quote Ambedkar to you. This is what Ambedkar said in his chapters on social stagnation. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
So Ambedkar said, as a consequence of the parda system, a segregation of Muslim women is brought about. These ladies are not expected to visit the outer rooms, verandas, gardens, quarters in the backyard. All of them, young and old, are confined to the same room. No male servant can work in their presence. She cannot, and I go on, even go to the mosque to pray and must wear the burqa whenever she goes out. Such seclusions have its deteriorating effects. And he went on and on. In other words, Ambedkar was completely against this forced segregation of Muslim women. Ambedkar is the last word for you on other issues. Do you agree or disagree with Ambedkar here, or do you selectively disagree with him?
Arnab, hello. In a sovereign democratic republic,
Ambedkar is not the last word. The last word or first word is the constitution. What we are saying, we are not saying
so on this he is not the last word. Till now he was the last word because I said, because I proved to you that Ambedkar was against the hijabs. You are saying he's not the last word. So he was the last word. 1 minute. When allow me to complete. You were quoting Ambedkar during the anti-CAA protest. You were quoting Ambedkar during the anti-CAA protest, right or wrong? Why was he a last word then and not a last word now?
Arnab, patiently hear me. Let me conclude my point first. Okay. What I am saying is, in a democratic sovereign republic, Ambedkar is not the last word. Constitution is the last word. Okay. And first word is of the Constitution. And our judiciary will interpret the
And who's the father of the Constitution? Just curious. No. Who is the father of the Constitution? Who is the father of the Constitution? No. 1 second, Mr. Sajid. I think you've been stumped by my first question. You don't know how to answer it now. You just say, Arnab, I don't know how to answer your question.
Point. Hello, Arnab. You said...
You're not making a point.
You alleged me that I said Ambedkar is the last point. I didn't say anywhere, and we haven't said anywhere. We are saying that Constitution is the last word.
But Ambedkar was the architect of the Indian Constitution, wasn't he?
Own religious profession, and they can believe in their ideology and they can profess it. That is what our Constitution says. And it is our fundamental
Okay, we are
right.
opening the debate now.
That is what's happening here.
Opening the debate now. Ladies and gentlemen, opening the debate. At the openings part of the debate, the president of the Campus Front of India, completely stumped with my question, now says Ambedkar is not the last word. Gaurav Bhatia is on the debate. The debate is on, ladies and gentlemen. Hijab Rao is the hashtag. Gaurav Bhatia.
So what are you doing, Mr. Arnab? You are deviating my point, right?
I'm doing nothing. I'm asking questions. I'm doing nothing. What do you mean? What are you doing? I'm doing nothing. I'm asking questions.
Right? You are creating controversies.
I'm asking questions. You're the one creating a controversy. You're the one creating a controversy. I'm asking the questions. You're not being able to answer my question. Is that my problem?
This is one-man show, and if this is a camera like you are dancing in front of us, I can't rely on this, okay? Please allow me to complete my point.
If you are unable to answer my question, Mr. Sajid, what do I do? You have just said Ambedkar is not the last word. And I told you Ambedkar is the architect of the Constitution.
In a democratic socialist republic, okay? That is what our preamble is saying, okay? First, you understand that. Hello?
I think you got confused. Gaurav Bhatia is responding. Gaurav Bhatia is responding. Debate is open. Gaurav.
No.
Why now, Gaurav? What is this?
Yes.
What is
Arnab,
this
I have
blue
a few
scarves
points to
versus saffron shawls? No, 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute, Gaurav. 1 minute. What is this blue scarves, saffron shawls? Why do you need shawls anyway? It's not so cold. And then I will wear saffron shawls. I will distribute saffron shawls. What is this? What is the need? Students should go to Pakistan. What is the need? It's not so cold in Karnataka right now. You don't have to distribute shawls. If you need to distribute shawls, you go to Himachal or go to Delhi. Even Delhi is not that cold right now. Go further north. Go to the hills. Give it to the poor people. Why are you going around distributing saffron shawls?
So, Arnab, I just request you to allow me to make my opening remark and I will then answer your query as well. I think let's have a very informed debate.
if you look at the entire issue through the prism of religion, then definitely there are parties like the Congress that would indulge in communal politics. But I will speak as a citizen and as a lawyer. You have to look at it from the glass of discipline, equality, Constitution of India. And my friend was talking very selectively about the Constitution. I will give you 3 provisions and please understand these provisions, it will help you. First is Article 14, equality before law. Now this is a college or a school funded by the government and there has to be discipline and rule. And I think you go to any school and college to learn. You don't go to a school or college to talk about a religion. I think one should not be discriminating on the basis of religion, caste, place of birth, which is Article 15 of the Constitution. Third is Article 21, the right to personal liberty and life. And I think it is very important that all these young minds should get an environment to grow. And why do I say that, Arnab? Say tomorrow, we want a Muslim sister to grow up to become a fighter pilot and fly a Rafale jet. And the discipline and the order says you can't wear a hijab. So you are depriving her. Like we had Avani Chaturvedi, who became the first fighter pilot, women fighter pilot. Now I want a Shabnam Khan to also become, but they are depriving. Second, if she wants to be a doctor and perform a surgery, there is some code and conduct. You can't say I want to wear a hijab. If there is a regulation, a rule, you have to follow them. And now I will come to the very important point.
I got the point. Can I get a counter on that, Gaurav? Let's keep it very, very focused. I have huge number of people watching the debate tonight. Gaurav, with respect to your argument, I'm only getting a rebut to your argument. I'm going to come back to you, Gaurav. The debate is on. My point tonight, and the point goes to the spokesperson of the All India Majlis-e-Ittihadul Muslimin, Sayyida Falak, who's live from Hyderabad. Say the very logical point. It is not about the hijab. It is about the uniform. Now, a Muslim woman may be a fighter pilot tomorrow. Are you saying that if she goes into the Sukhoi cockpit, she will go wearing a hijab? One. She'll be a police officer tomorrow. Will you say that she will wear a hijab on top of a police uniform? Okay. She may join the Navy. She may be a submariner. Are you saying that she will not wear a submariner's dress?
She should be allowed.
No. Tomorrow, allow me. So many Muslim women today are top-notch doctors. When they go to the operation theatre, are you saying that on top of or under your, your doctor's, surgeon's uniform, you should wear the hijab? Because by this logic, your point is hijab first, any other uniform later.
They can cover their head.
And the question is, my question to you is, if you say a school uniform, allow me today. I am not going to stop today. Enough. You are saying, suppose a Muslim girl is in NCC and is selected to go on a march past as part of the Republic Day contingent of the NCC. Are you saying today, tell Apsara, don't tell me, tell Apsara, that she should go wearing a hijab as part of the NCC parade at the Republic Day? What are you doing?
They wear a
Think
cap
about
in NCC, no? So her hair will be covered.
Where will you stop?
Her hair will be covered if they are wearing a cap. So that's not a problem.
Her hair?
No, Arnab,
Tell me
why are
one
they
thing.
vehemently brainwashing children to believe that the hijab is the only identity at a school? Why can't the intellectual performance or academic identity be over just a religious identity? Why are these students allowed to religiously segregate in a learning community? You can't cover yourself up, form groups and say, this is how I'm going to identify myself. Very well, I've been to school where, Muslim girls come to school wearing the hijab, they get into a uniform, while they leave, they put the hijab back on. But to be caught in the clutches of culture perpetrated by certain politicians just to kind of insinuate religious kind of disharmony, I feel it's absolutely ridiculous what we're seeing on TV and on the headlines, because all these students are being played by politicians in Karnataka. It's so unfortunate to see these shawls and hijabs becoming a point of debate in a learning community. Why should these children be taught that the hijab is the only form of identity over their identity as a student? They can show their religion at a mosque, at a temple. Why should they show it at school?
Why in school?
Can I speak?
Saida is not being able to answer. Tell me.
Yes. Yeah. Can I speak now? Yeah. Tell me one thing. How low will the BJP government will stoop? Now here today, we all are debating about hijab, saffron shawls, bindi, turban. Though we have many other important issues, all the educational institutions in Karnataka have been shut down for 3 days. We all have seen a video today from Karnataka where Hindu boys, while chanting Jai Shri Ram, are provoking a Muslim girl. What problem do they have with that girl wearing a hijab or a burqa? It's her choice. Let me tell one more thing. Banning the hijab not only violates Article 14 and 25 of the Indian Constitution, but it also violates the right to privacy.
Because it's not about the hijab or the shawl, it's about saying that your religion has the right to kind of alter the uniform and wear whatever they want and segregate and seclude themselves in a mainstream learning community. Why should students actually kind of form a superior group saying, I am allowed to kind of segregate from the overall learning community, whether it's the saffron shawl or the hijab, leave it at the door of your school. When you come into a school, what are you trying to imply? I've seen a lot of journalists, I've seen a lot of Muslim journalists tweeting on Twitter talking about modesty. Where are their hijab? Who defines modesty? All these Muslim journalists on Twitter say, oh, it's about modesty. Yes, I understand if it's about modesty. Where are the journalists wearing those hijabs on their DPs on Twitter? I don't think we should make it about Hindu-Muslim. It's about a learning community in school which is allowed to learn in the mainstream environment.
Wear the Bhagwa dress if in the parliament.
Okay, here's a question. Here's a question. And I think, see, no, but tell me one thing. Tell me. But tell me, please tell me today. One second. See Sajid, listen, Sajid, my friend. The fact of the matter is you have not been able to answer my questions effectively, but I am a man with infinite patience. I will keep giving you an opportunity.
That's not allowed.
I will keep giving you an opportunity, Sajid.
Okay.
No, I will keep giving you an opportunity. Sajid, tell me. Sajid, Rahul Ishwar is showing something. What is Rahul Ishwar showing on his phone? What are you showing, Rahul? What are you showing? Rahul Ishwar is on the debate. Rahul, what are you showing? What are you showing, Rahul?
Judge of Indian Supreme Court. This is a picture of the first female judge of Supreme Court, Fatima Bibi. Whenever she came to court, she never had any other religious dressing. But whenever she had her private functions, whenever she went to her personal functions, she always had her own dressing. So please remember, Fatima Bibi is one of the most iconic Muslim women we have. And Fatima Bibi, please look at her. Whenever she is the first beyond Hindu, Muslim or... Sir, please let me have a say. Beyond Hindu, Christian or Muslim, she is the first woman judge of Indian Supreme Court. She in her personal capacity, whenever she goes to her programs, she used to wear this kind of head covering clothing. But she as a judge, she is expected to have a uniform, a discipline, a dress code. And let me quote Mahatma Gandhi himself. Swayam Mahatma Gandhi, and what Mahatma Gandhi said on May 1947, true parda should be of heart. What is the value of outer veil? I go so far as to say that even Quran-e-Sharif doesn't mention these outward dresses. How rapidly the times we are moving. Because many people use these kind of things as identity markers to impose politics. See,
no, I tell you, Rahul.
Just one question, sir. But just one question. Does not an institution have a right to have a dress code of its own? Can I just ask one question? I will only ask one question.
I'll tell you.
I'll just ask one question.
I'll tell you. I want to. I'll tell you.
Very important.
I say. I think we are. I think. Sajid, tell me. Sajid, can I ask you something? Sajid, listen to me.
Yes.
Listen to me, my friend. See, my job is that if you are on the wrong path, my job is to put you on the right path. And my job is to convince you to understand what is in the interest of the nation. Tell me, Sajid, how long has the campus front of India been in the realm of Indian politics? How long have you been in the political sphere?
Arnab, if a girl or lady doesn't want to wear a headscarf or doesn't want to practice religion, that's her right. Supreme Court, Constitution gives.
Similarly,
You don't give any rights. Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but I'm sorry. Okay. So all right.
Supreme Court gave a verdict.
Okay. Now this is now too much. This is now too much. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. Yeah. 1 minute. I want Amina Sherwani to come to the debate.
That traveler is coming here and saying
Chill. Okay, Sajid, 1 minute. Sajid, Baba, wait a minute.
That lady from Hyderabad and this Sajid person.
Amina Sherwani is a social activist from Delhi.
They must read the Quran, which
Amina
categorically
Sherwani
bans women from being covered. The Quran tells women to celebrate their existence. It tells them to be free. It tells them to move forward. It tells them to educate themselves. It tells them to fight with their brothers and get the share in their father's property. It tells them to have tafiz-e-haqq talaq so they can divorce their husbands. It tells them to live a life with their head held high. And that lovely girl, it does not tell them to cover their head. It tells men to cover their sinful gaze with a hijab of decency over their eyes. Hijab means a wall. It does not mean a dupatta. Men are supposed to have hijabs of decency over their sinful eyes.
Hijab is not an oppression.
It is not an obstacle to development. Allah and the Prophet knew that it is men who misbehave. Allah and the Prophet made all the rules for men. But the smart male patriarchal systems overturned all those rules and dumped them back on the women. And foolish women like you are minions of patriarchy. This girl who was fighting with the hoodlums was brilliant. She came on her scooty, she fought with them. But why was she covered in that black Arabic garment, which does not suit the weather of Udupi, which does not come from our culture, which is banned by the Quran. Women are not dirt to be covered in black garments. Women are not weak beings who need to be covered in pardas. Women are strong, women are powerful. Women don't need to be covered. Our hair does not need to be covered. Men need to cover their sinful eyes, and we women are powerful enough to cover men's eyes and bring them on the right path and make them behave themselves. We have the Constitution, we have the law.
Whatever you tell, we are not going to accept this. The commandments of Allah, the Holy Quran, the Islam
you
will not
don't
change.
accept
We are not
it.
going
You
to
don't accept it. Don't accept the Quran. You are disobeying the Quran.
We are not going to accept
you are a bad Muslim. You are a useless
We are
Muslim.
not going to
You are disobeying the Quran. You have not even read the Quran.
Who are you
have
to
just
decide that I'm a
mugged it
bad
up in
Muslim?
Arabic.
It is Allah
You have
who is
not
to decide who is a
understood
good
it.
Muslim
You
and who
have
is a
not
bad Muslim.
practiced it. And just by screaming, you will not become
Who
right.
are you to
These
decide
girls are
who
brilliant
is a good
girls, my
Muslim
daughters,
and a bad
my
Muslim?
granddaughters. Please
In the eyes
read
of
the
Allah
Quran.
only He knows
The
who is a
Quran
good Muslim
tells
and
you
who is
to
a
live a
bad
happy,
Muslim.
free life. Choose
Yes,
your
I've read
own
the Quran.
partner at
It
your
refers
own
to the
choice.
hijab.
Divorce him when you don't want him.
Modestly to
Saida, this is Arnab here. Saida, Amina,
Arnab,
you make a very strong point. I must say, 1 minute, Amina, let me say this to you. Let me say this to you, Amina. Amina, 1 minute. Amina, you make a very strong point. This debate is going viral. Everyone's talking about it tonight. And I began the debate by saying that if I cannot on my show, if I can't show what's right and what's wrong, then what's the point of my doing the debate every night? And I just ask you one question. Saida, tell me, do you believe that triple talaq is anti-women, has been anti-women? Do you believe that triple talaq, I repeat, yes or no,
yes,
was very much anti-women?
Yes, it is anti-women. I have observed one thing.
Thank you. But then my argument to you, my argument to you, Saida. Yeah. Who's talking about Shaheen Bagh? Where did Shaheen Bagh come from? Why are you making it political? On the debate tonight, my next question is to Mohammad Tausif Rahman. And Mohammad Tausif Rahman, my question is, here there is the Campus Front of India. The Campus Front of India says, Mohammad Tausif Rahman, the Campus Front of India says, there will be another Shaheen Bagh over this. Why don't you ask? Why don't you ask? Why don't you ask Muhammad Tawseef Rahman, Mr. Sajid, and all the other people on the other side, that aren't there enough reasons of opportunities to provoke and polarize on issues of development? Why over issues of religion? Why threaten another Shaheen Bagh over the hijab row? Answer that tonight, Muhammad Tawseef Rahman. Who wants another Shaheen Bagh? Who wants disruption? Who wants disruption? Who wants violence? We don't.
Thank you so much.
And I say enough tonight. Enough violence, enough provocation over the hijab row or anything else.
No, thank you so much. Thank you. Arnab, thank you so much for bringing this debate tonight, because I believe only Republic would have done this and talking this about hijab. But let me tell you, you started with Baba Sahib Ambedkar, which is very correct. You targeted Sajid on your own part, which was totally correct. But I want to come part by part, because I was listening, because everyone is watching Republic. I'm getting messages that you're sitting on Republic, and this is a very big debate which is going on right now with the hijab thing. First of all, Arnab, I feel so pity looking at those students who became today as a bali ka bakra, distributing those saffron scarf. You tell me they are the same students who were studying with the same girls in the same school, in the same premises, in the same mohalla. Never happened anything. You and me, we have seen from Jamia to Hindus to Amethi, girls wearing hijab, the Muslim girls wearing mini skirts, spaghetti, crop top, jeans, burqa as well, shalwar kameez as well. There was no objection. I am very much surprised what happened since the Kerala decision came that the policewoman was not allowed to wear hijab. It's okay, it's gone. Because I totally believe if you want to become a pilot, I understand. As Gaurav Bhatia said, I understand. If a pilot is going to fly and making us proud, because a Muslim will not only make a Muslim proud, she is going to make the whole India proud. But yes, she can wear a scarf. I'm sure she won't be able to wear a burqa. But Baba Sahib Ambedkar said that there has to be a uniformity, there has to be the equalization, and you have to be equal. You know, there has to be a uniform. I totally understand that. But why this same problem never occurred before 2014? I'm not targeting BJP. But why this is becoming so much difficult that the minorities are having
I have a question for you. I have a question for you.
Wearing something.
I have a question for you. Amina is coming into the debate. Tawseef, 1 minute. Can I come in with a very sharp intervention to you? Just wait a minute, Tawseef. And I'm glad with your intervention. And I know people are watching. Just 1 minute, Gaurav. 1 minute. 1 minute, Gaurav. 1 minute. 1 minute. I believe that people also want to hear my intervention. And here's my intervention to you. My intervention to you, can you tell me why Tunisia banned face veils? Can you tell me why the European Court of Human Rights upheld the French ban on face veils? Can you tell me why Morocco bans full face veils?
I agree with you.
It's a 99% Muslim country. 1 minute. No, 1 minute. Just wait and think.
Mr. Arnab,
Switzerland.
what do we have to do with other countries?
Switzerland. In Switzerland, allow me.
What do we have to do with them?
No, 1 second. Question is, pardon me, what do we have to do with them? Okay, there are security concerns there. There'll be security concerns here, for example.
Yeah, exactly.
So
when you compare Morocco, Tunisia and other parts of the world, then you have to believe this, that in United Kingdom, there are police officers who are Muslim wearing a scarf. Arnab, I am not asking, they are females in the Muslim. In our religion, even
I don't know, I don't know. I tell you, Tawseef, I don't understand you. Because I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you one thing. 1 minute, Gaurav. Gaurav, I'll tell you, and I want to go to Mrinalini Deshmukh. I'll tell you why I disagree with you. Maybe my worldview is different. Maybe my worldview is different from yours, Gaurav, Tawseef, but I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you one thing, Gaurav. Tawseef, listen to me, please. You're my brother and my friend. Don't fight with me like this. We're not here to fight. Just listen to me. I tell you, one of my life's best experiences ever was going to a government school called Kendriya Vidyalaya. And we had the most simple uniform. We had navy blue trousers and a white shirt and a black belt and black shoes. And you know, the girls would wear navy blue skirts, right? And a white top. And I feel that was the most normal experience. Now imagine, I'm just thinking, listening to you, listening to Sayyeda tonight, I'm thinking that what if, 1 minute, tell me one thing, what if I went to school with a tilak and a saffron shawl and a Muslim girl came wearing a hijab? Would it be the same school? Would it be the same experience? Am I a lesser or greater Hindu? Or somebody a lesser or greater Muslim? Because of this? No.
Arnab,
that's my fundamental point, Mrinalini Deshmukh. Religion is for home.
Arnab, do you...
Religion is not about assertion in educational institutions, is my limited point.
Friend.
Viewers, you can agree or disagree with me. Mrinalini Deshmukh. Mrinalini Deshmukh.
You had a massive creations.
Arnab, I have only one thing to say. My friend Gaurav Bhatia spoke about Article 14, Article 15, Article 21, but somehow it slipped his mind to talk about Article 25, which is a part of the fundamental rights under the Part 3 of the Constitution. And it says that freedom of conscience and free profession, practice and propagation of religion, subject to public order, morality and health, and to the other provisions, all persons are equally entitled to freedom of conscience and the right freely to profess, practice and propagate religion. Now, this is mentioned in Article 25 of the Constitution of India, which is Part 3, which is the fundamental rights. If today, as a Hindu woman, I wear a bindi. I wear a bindi even when I go to court. I wear a bindi even if I am dressed up for a wedding. I wear a bindi even otherwise because that is a part of my culture as a Hindu. We have lady judges who wear bindis. We have other ladies who are holding high posts in the corporate sector. You go south to Chennai, everybody wears a bindi there. Now that doesn't mean that I should not be permitted to wear, because if I wear a bindi and I go to the court, one minute. It does not mean that if I wear a bindi and I go to a court and appear before the Supreme Court judge, that would be any kind of not wearing a proper uniform as a lawyer and addressing the thing. So the point that I'm trying to make, one moment, Rahul, please hold on. Rahul, we are old friends and we are old debaters, so please bear with me and I appreciate your patience. My question over here is, hijab, according to the Muslims, is a part of their wearing. Now, how is it coming in the way of anyone? Now, tomorrow, if a lady becomes a pilot and she chooses not to wear a hijab or to do whatever she wants, it is not a compulsion. But those who want to do it, they should be allowed.
Here's a question to you.
Sorry?
What if she chooses to wear a hijab as a pilot? My question to you is, what if she chooses to wear a hijab as a pilot?
If she's dressed in a pilot's uniform, she wears a hijab and her hair is covered, and if that's a part of her religion, it does not come in the way of her flying the airplane. Why should she not wear?
So you are of the view. So you are of the view. Allow me. So you are of the view. You are of the view that certain exceptions should be made to military uniform also. Are you saying that certain exceptions should be made to military uniform also? But that's what you suggested.
If Sardars can wear a turban, and which is written in explanation 1 of Article 25, then my question to you is, so long as it does not come in the way of public morality, public indecency, or bringing about anything,
who's responding to this, please? Okay, a legal argument made by Mrinalini Deshmukh, the lawyer from Mumbai, and who's responding? I think Rahul, brief, then Gaurav responds legally. Okay.
Holy Quran mentions only modest dressing. Please remember this. This is the soul of the matter. Holy Quran mentions only modest dressing. Second, you cannot compare apples and pineapples. A person wearing bindi and a person with a different religious attire is not at all comparable. Right. And please remember, I doubt whether, and one more thing, MES, Muslim Educational Society, banned the use of complete covering of female dresses in their colleges. MES is one of the largest institutions run by Muslims in Kerala.
To ban the fully covering dressing in their colleges. It was not done by any government.
It was done by Muslim Education Society themselves. So please remember, there are shades of difference that proves this may not be an essential religious practice. Yes, we shouldn't hunt anyone, we should not have Islamophobia, we should not be chasing that girl. All said and done fair. We believe in pluralism.
6 more minutes on the debate. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Shataship Shivana is the petitioner's lawyer joining in from Bengaluru. Shataship Shivana. Shataship Shivana, petitioner's lawyer coming in from Bengaluru. You have anything to say, Mr. Shivana? Mr. Shivana. Mr. Shivana first.
The opposite. Long before the constitution, long before Baba Ambedkar, it was the prophet who said that women cannot be locked up, they cannot be tied up, they cannot be covered up, they cannot be hidden away like this.
Can I make my point?
Women are free beings, allowed to take the wings of fantasy and do what they want.
We never said that they cannot be covered up.
As much as they want, they're
not
allowed to go where they
never said
want.
that the women cannot be covered up.
Not at all. Their head does not have to be covered up. Not at all. They are not weak beings who cannot protect themselves. You saw that girl. How powerful she was. She got off from her scooty and she fought with 100 boys.
By that logic, Gaurav Bhatia is on the debate responding to the earlier points which have been made by Mrinalini. Gaurav Bhatia responding legally right now. Ladies and gentlemen, on two sides I have Shataship Shivana, but before that Gaurav Bhatia, 5 minutes into the debate. Gaurav Bhatia, please. Thank you.
Arnab, it's always a delight to have a lawyer colleague on a debate, and I also wish to just counter her with some facts. First of all, she did not take cognizance of the fact that Article 25 itself says subject to public order, morality and health. Second, she forgets that there is an act in place which is law of the land, the Karnataka Education Act, Section 133. Third, Supreme Court dealt with such a situation, and I would like to place it for the benefit of the viewers. During the PMT exam, some Muslim girls came before the Supreme Court and they said, we want to wear hijab. The then Chief Justice of India, and I'm quoting him, he said, faith won't disappear if you don't wear a scarf for one day. And then he went on to say, it was nothing but ego. And he also said, banning scarf and hijab was a reasonable restriction. Now, my second point is also from a Supreme Court judgment, and I am just reading. There was a Muslim person who was serving in the Indian Air Force. He wanted to sport a beard. This is what the Supreme Court said, and I quote, their object and purpose is to ensure uniformity and cohesiveness, discipline and order, which are indispensable to the Air Force, as indeed to every armed force of the Union, unquote. Now coming to the politics. Is it discriminatory? I will give you a reason. When the Sikhs travel, they take a flight, they have to carry a kirpan, but we have a rule that gives the directions that it can't be more than 9 inches. That's the way rules works. And for the Hindus, there was a malpractice of ghungat. That has been done away with. Child marriage. Coming to the AIMIM spokesperson, madam, you said triple talaq is wrong. But OAC said that you are penalizing the Muslim women. This is what OAC said. So I think you can't go contrary to your supreme leader. First know what he has said. And in the end, I will say, when you go to a college, there will be chemistry classes. It is for them to choose. They can become H2SO4, sulfuric acid, or H2O, water, and give life. Thank you.
I think, Mrinalini, that was a response to you. My question to Shataship Shivana
I'm sorry,
is this.
That was not.
Shataship, you know this is.
I had just quoted Article 25, and I had just stated what is it's a fundamental right and what Article 25 says.
If you have quoted Article 25, if you have...
I respect the views of my learned friend, Mr. Gaurav Bhatia. He's a senior counsel.
It is Mohammad Zubair,
somehow I
Corporal
believe
versus Union
he
of
was
India.
unable to respond to that, and his arguments, unfortunately, with utmost respect, derailed and did not deal with it. How does it come in the way of either of the exceptions?
Okay, Mr. Shivana. Mr. Shivana.
No issue.
Mr. Shivana from Bangalore has not spoken. Mr. Shivana, I find this whole issue to be political. You will agree with me. And I don't think it is a coincidence that now the Karnataka Pradesh Congress Committee President D.K. Shivakumar has suddenly announced that the Congress party will come out with a separate manifesto for coastal Karnataka and the Malnad regions. Why? tell me, why were there no protests? Why was it that no such issue was raised earlier when coastal Karnataka was a stronghold under the Congress till 2018? See, people are not stupid. When the Congress was in power in 7 out of 8 seats in Dakshina Kannada, 3 in Udupi and 3 in Uttara Kannada, how come the hijab was not an issue then? See, be logical, Chatasheep. The Congress has been in power since 2013. The hijab has only become an issue after the BJP swept the election. Are people stupid? It has started in the same region that the Congress faced a rout in 2018. Why? Of course it's political. Come on. Don't hide behind a legal argument here. Chatasheep, you're a lawyer, but obviously you know there's a political background to all this.
I don't want to get into the politics of it. Am I audible? Arnab, I don't want to get into the politics of it. I'm not a Congress spokesperson. I have filed this writ petition in my individual capacity as a lawyer. Okay, and see, the court has recognized that it's a constitutional issue and it will deliberate upon it only under the realm of the Constitution. We are just advocating that it's an essential religious practice to wear a hijab, and we have reasonable, evidence to show the same. But also, having said that, let court take its own discourse. But through your channel, I would like to make an appeal to all the students who are on the ground and who are making it communal, who are making it divisive, and who are spreading hate. They should all refrain from doing so. The High Court of Karnataka today also made a very welcoming remark and said, that everybody should refrain from demonstration. And it's a constitutional matter. It will be decided appropriately.
Yeah, and I will also say that people outside the country should mind their own business. Whatever is happening here is happening in Karnataka and in India. I don't know why some foreign citizens are so keen to get into this.
Absolutely, Arnab.
Simple question here tonight.
Arnab.
See, yeah, so I think so. I think so. Hello. Yes, Sajid. Yeah, no, Sajid wants to come in. Sajid, tell me one thing. Tell me, Sajid. Sajid, I began with you, I'll end with you right now.
They must be 18
Sajid,
and 19 and
your colleague.
I don't understand how come they became so religious wearing a saffron scarf today?
Hello.
I'm very surprised today. I'm very surprised.
Okay, Apsara will respond to you. Apsara will respond to you. Mohammed Osif and Apsara, what's your question?
It's very convenient. Arnab, it's very convenient for people to say it's not politics. It is politics. This whole narrative of religious explosion in Karnataka suits the Congress, so they're playing the students. Where does the Constitution say that students can go into a school and religiously segregate themselves? What does it say about other students of other religion? That is their gaze very bad? Aren't these girls protected in school? Why should they kind of walk away from the uniform and kind of assert the religious supremacy? I feel they can do it outside the school. School should be a learning community.
Anyway,
and it's very sad that the students are being played by politicians in Karnataka.
So I don't.
The Congress is
my question, Saida.
Gotten into the field and are kind of
Saida, last question. Saida.
Students.
Yes.
Saida, question to you and Amina. Last question. Afghan women. You see, the Taliban entered Kabul on 15th. Allow me to complete, Saida. The Taliban entered Kabul after the 15th of August, right? 2021. Around the middle of September, lots of Afghan women around the world were protesting against the Taliban's new hijab requirement, right? They were posting pictures of themselves without the hijab on social media. Tell me one thing, were women in Afghanistan who were opposing the forced hijab rule anti-Muslim? Were they anti-Muslim?
See, we have nothing to do with what women in hijab and the Taliban people are doing. We have nothing to do with that. You tell me one thing, if in an assembly a man is allowed without wearing anything, if a terrorist woman is allowed in the parliament in a Bhagwa dress, if the chief minister of Uttar Pradesh can roam in a Bhagwa dress, also if Mr. Owaisi can enter the parliament with a dadi and topi, then what is the problem?
It's not
Parliament
a college.
Is not a religious place, right? It is a parliament. It is the world's largest
parliament is not a school or a college. There is no uniform.
Then why not allow
But the army has a uniform, the judiciary has a uniform,
but it is
the
also
navy
not a
has a
religious
uniform,
place.
the police
It
has
is
a
also
uniform,
not a religious
surgeons
place.
have
It
a
is the
uniform,
parliament of the
doctors
world's
have a
largest
uniform, they
democracy.
wear a uniform
And everyone
coat.
is allowed in the parliament with wearing anything. Then
Well,
what is the problem
as I said,
with the,
ladies and
Muslim
gentlemen,
women wearing hijab
ladies
in
and
the
gentlemen,
education
a most, as I say, Amina and Saida, there are other things to fight about. A most unnecessary controversy, ladies and gentlemen. And I hope tonight's trending debate has brought some light on it. And on the other side tonight, ladies and gentlemen, this evening, the Prime Minister has made a second detailed speech, this time in the Rajya Sabha. And he has questioned those who use federalism as a takedown to nationalism. Excerpts of that speech, big debate on the other side.